cloudy skies, stories that sleep and deep reside in my heart. In the middle of this night, my heart bleeds for you, my love. My heart beats for you, my love. I realize silence is my sacred space, and you are my divine sacredness. I really don't know what it's all about. My heart speaks for you, my love. My heart beats for you, my love. It keeps yearning to be with you, rolling down this uncertain route. You know what? My heart beats for you, my love. My heart beats for you, my love. Fireworks and these fury scales, the road still in this wonderness, but still, you know what? My heart beats for you, my love. My heart beats for you, my love. Da, da, da.
Okay. How's it going?
Good. Don't ask, Doc.
What?
Don't ask.
Not bad.
You don't want to know. Yeah, 5th floor ICU. The acute of the acute. They bring him to us when they don't know where else to take him. Stairway to heaven.
Led Zeppelin fan?
Highlight yourself, Doc.
Becca.
Lucy. Lucy Jackson.
ER. You know, ER, where the ambulances and a wail of sirens bring in more victims deposited at the door of our overcrowded hospital. Stretchers backed up with beds, backed up with wheelchairs. I mean, a deposit that often yields no return, and the fear is palpable. Death has no room for dignity, and it's almost like the audition for our horror film is in the basement.
Seen it all by now, Doc. Becca.
Yeah. Well, it used to be Saturday nights in the ER, you'd only view things that you'd read about in textbooks, and now they're not even in the textbooks. I mean, Defoe's Journal of the Plague Year, maybe, or a painting by Hieronymus Bosch. But
My go-to is Poe's Mask of the Red Death. Partygoers carted off in their evening clothes to die in the hospital. Yeah, and that's all before mid-morning coffee break.
What? Coffee? Break? Wait.
See you later, latte, huh?
How quaint. I mean, it sounds like it would take place in a charming clinic somewhere on the Thimble Islands.
Thimbles. You from Connecticut, Becca?
Yeah, good guess. New London.
Oh, our class took a senior trip to Connecticut. Mystic Seaport, Coast Guard Academy, Nathan Hale Schoolhouse in New London.
Oh, no kidding. That's, I have one regret that I only have but one life to lose for my country. I used to be a tour guide there in high school.
Oh, no kidding. Same last name. Are you a relative?
Distant, very distant. Well, not so distant if you ask my mother.
He was hanged by the British for being a spy during the War of 1812. Is that right?
No, actually, it was the Revolutionary War, September 22nd, 1776, to put a fine point on it. I guess I still remember my tour talk.
Yeah, I wrote a book report on it in high school. I guess I've forgotten everything except the rope.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter much anymore now, does it? I mean, this is clearly the great equalizer. It's no Chinese virus. It belongs to all of us now.
You bet. Oh, I'm not keeping you from anything, am I?
Oh, no, I actually, I just got done with my shift, and I like to come out here and collect my wits about me before journeying home to the other world. I don't really like saying real world anymore because I don't really know what's real anymore.
Yeah, I hear you, Doc. I just got off my shift, too. Yeah, we take selfies at the end of every shift, if nothing more than to show that we've made it another day, and I don't know that I can take another one. I'm just about the end of my rope.
I know, Lucy, I don't have to tell you that it's, we really need you, that it's crucial that we keep good people here like you. And I think I know how you feel.
Likewise, I'm sure.
You sound like one of those Mike Hammer characters. Do you remember those? I used to read those detective stories as a kid.
No kidding.
Yeah. Who wrote those? Do you remember who wrote those?
Sure do. Mickey Spillane.
Mickey Spillane, that's right.
Yeah, he was a friend of my dad's. He used to summer not far from where we grew up.
Oh, where was that?
Grenville in upstate New York.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to read those Mike Hammer stories. Those Signet paperbacks, 15 cents. The brittle yellow pages. They would just break off in your hand sometimes.
I had a body break off in my hands today before I could even get her into bed. In one door, out the other. No need to even change the sheets.
It's tough, right? Sometimes I have to go to my car, not even to go anywhere, but just to cry.
Me too. You don't get enough time with the patient to know where you're missing. You just know them as aches, breathlessness, dry cough, diarrhea, fever, fatigue, seizures, strokes, the list goes on.
You sound like a newly minted doctor on early morning rounds. Oh, and there's one more, fizziness. Have you run across that yet?
Is that the buzz I sometimes hear about?
Yeah, it's the autoimmune system at war with the nerves.
Fascinating.
Yeah, well, deep down, that's the only way we can even go through with this job, right? The body is fascinating. It's science.
Until feelings get in the way.
Yeah. It's hard. You see them dying alone in their bed, and you know how many are dying to be there with them.
Or not.
Depending on the circumstance. Wow. In our imaginary horror film, we've anchored down, we've stayed put on the front lines like a cannon protecting its fort in a city where all the wealthy have fled. Ambulance after ambulance. There's no more room for patients. And it's so crazy. You see a patient come in with a cold, they develop pneumonia, they can't breathe, and then the next day they're just
Sometimes
dead.
our patients seem fine, and then a few hours later, also, we don't know if we're going to get sick and follow them. We wash our hands so much, our hands develop sores in protest. We don't have enough protective gear. Obviously.
Yeah. I'm just amazed and impressed by all my coworkers at every level. From the top surgeon to the custodial worker, everyone's scared and tired and hearing about friends falling ill.
And if one of us falls ill, we talk about who may take over the dogs, the cats, the plants, but the children.
We're just worn out, so tired, scared stiff sometimes, and sometimes making things up as we go along. We choose who's going to live and who's going to die. I didn't go to med school to play God. I'm just here to help.
Talk. Do you ever think we'll get back to normal?
To the way things were?
Yes.
No, sometimes you're changed so indelibly by something, no amount of scrubbing will wash it away. We're all changed human beings.
I can't say I disagree with you.
Well, this is the time in the story where I clasp my hand on your shoulder and I say, "Keep up the good fight." And you'd say, "There's nothing to it."
Nothing to it.
Nothing to it but to do it.
But to do it.
And then I'd say, "Let's go back in there and give it all we've got." But, that was in the days when stories had scripts and when there were predictable outcomes.
Those days are long gone, aren't they, Becca?
Yeah. Black Death, COVID-19. I mean, I hear they're running out of places to bury the dead. They're relying on parks now and a potter's field on a distant island.
Memories of the things we left behind
And the way we were. Okay, well, we should probably head back in time for the 7 o'clock cheering.
The other night I was caught in the middle of all that. In a city that never sleeps, replaced by a city sheltered in place. Restaurants shuttered, stores closed, streets deserted except for the sirens. I was standing there in my garbage bag outfit on the corner of 26th and 9th. And it felt like the city was serenading me for 2 minutes. Me.
Don Quixote in Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, God, I look forward to the day I can have a latte in a nearby cafe.
Me too.
It's a date then.
As sure as anything is these days.
All right, well, time to go home and be dead to the world until time to come back and to the world of the dead.
Come on. It's not that bad, is it, Nurse Jackson?
It has its moments, Dr. Hill.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Does it make you feel alright with another day passing by? The world closing into yourself and reality flashing by. Is it your need for belonging or is it validation? Is it human disposition, the construct of your mind? Human comedy, it's a recent tragedy, oozing by the grave to accommodate, breathing by the sea, seething by the breeze, easing agony. It's a human comedy. It should make you feel alright, make you feel alright, make you feel alright, make you feel alright.
Ah, oh, I see you. Don't speak. It'll ruin the moment.